Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I am Shanique,
This is Mike.
and on this podcast, we talk about movies, music, and Michael.
Whatever the hell else we find interesting,
Uh,
documentaries, something else in the middle. Whatever we find
sometimes,
interesting.
yeah, sometimes some anime while we're in there. Um, so today's episode is actually gonna be about album, and it's the latest album by Charlie Puth called Voice Notes. I think it came out this month, so we're not that far behind. So I'm gonna give this album a B plus. I've been giving up a lot of B plus, like where the A's at.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the good points. I thought his voice great. I have no issue with his voice at all. I thought his arrangements was good. I thought it was well produced. I like the style he took from like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the old eras of music, and he made it modern. I love that. My only issue is I like the first half more than the second half of the album. So I was like not really blown away by the second half. I thought the first half was much better than the second, and then once we got to the second half, I thought it was just decent songs. Not songs I would really listen to over and over, but yeah. So yeah, B plus. Good job, Charlie. I think this is a good introductory to his music if you haven't listened to his other albums. What do you think of this album, Michael?
Well, for me, it was a good introduction because I've never gone through an entire Charlie Puth album before, so I found this one fun to listen to. As far as like the pop R&B genre goes, whatever hybrid comes in the middle that you want to call what Charlie Puth does, he does it pretty damn well. I do like that. What Shanique said earlier. One big thing about this album, it takes a lot of influences from different time periods and different sounds, sometimes even different genres, and like he puts it into his own thing and makes it sound cool. Like he sound like, and this is like a weird thing. It sound like he didn't have like a crazy huge backing behind production. Like he only had like a soundboard to work with, but like, he made it sound good. Kind of like how the some of Kanye's gems. Like he just pretty much just does all by like hand. Or even Shanique, when we saw the concert with Logic, and he had only like the little soundboard to work with, and like he was making like crazy sound, beats in the back with it. A lot of them like had like a good little guitar riff, so like it came on really good with like guitar basses. A lot of them, you're gonna hear me talk about guitar bass in this podcast, but like they all sounded good all the way through. I had a great time listening to it, good experience. Glad to give him an A minus here.
Okay, so Michael's really feeling this album. That's good. That's good. So let's get into our top three. So, drum roll. My number three is "Done for Me" featuring Kalani. Which
Mm-hmm.
Michael knows how much I love this song, so it was gonna be my top three. It's a fun song. I thought it was a really good collab. Kalani's been doing her thing with the fucking collabs. I'm like, where your album though? And it was equal from both. The song felt like a collaboration. Like no one really overpowered the other one, but they complemented each other well, and it still sound like his type of song, and that's a sign of a good collab. It's catchy as hell. I love the chorus. I love that like he's saying, "Oh, I did all this for you, but what you done for me?" And then she responds like, "This is what I done for you, but what have you done for me?" So it gives you two different like points of view from male and female in this relationship, and I like that. So yeah, done for me. Number three. What do you think of this song, Michael?
That for me was pretty cool, and I'm going to put this up as my number three because my top three for this album weren't in any particular order. So I'll throw this at my number three just to like save time of doing it in the future. But yeah, "Done for Me" was pretty cool. It's one of the songs that I've actually heard. One of the only two songs I think that I've actually heard before going through this album. It's great. It's catchy for me. It's definitely got a funk to it. It's definitely one of those songs a while ago I was just talking about. Like it has like a good like a little guitar, bass guitar riff in the background going on to help the sound move itself forward. It sounded pretty good. Kehlani was pretty dope too. If I hear the song, I'm pretty sure I'm either humming or singing along with it. When probably will be singing along with it when I get the lyrics down. But yeah, good. I think their Killer is one of like I think what three maybe it's a pretty small album, maybe like three or four features, whatever. She played her part and good enough to get on the top three. So yeah, that for me is pretty dope.
Okay. My number two is L.A. Girls.
Okay.
Uh, I thought while it did have a cheesy metaphor, I'm not gonna lie. It's the way the song was arranged. It was perfect. It was fine. Like the cheesiness was fine. I like the falsetto he did on the chorus. L.A. Girls. I like that part. I thought he was smooth as hell on the track. So that also made it really fun. The chorus was really great. Um, I like the little ooh part he did at like towards the end. I thought that was really fun. And the song's basically about man, I always end up with these LA girls. I don't know what that means because I don't know what LA girl means in terms of like California girls, but I guess he dating the wrong type of women. And so, but I did enjoy the song. Yeah. What do you think of LA girls?
Now L.A. Girls, I think there are about three songs on this album where I realized he's either apologizing to a girl or some kind of infidelity is going on. I don't know Charlie Puth personally. I don't know what he's doing with his life. But this was one of those songs that just got me like, you were apologizing to your girl because you got messed up messing with these LA girls. That's kind of what I got. Like, he has a main chick, and apparently all of LA is his side chick. I don't know. Character aside, it sounded like a really good song. I'm okay with. Because I'm like, alright, you're telling kind of a trifling ass story here, but it sounds good. I'm gonna give you a break. Because to be honest, there's no real song that I particularly didn't like on this album. This song is really damn good. Um, I don't. I'm more familiar with Charlie being more general with his like subject matter and his topics. This is from what I've heard of him. So like hearing him talk about like, oh, I'm messing around with these LA girls. I'm like, oh man, I know he wasn't like Disney squeaky clean or nothing like that. But it's cool to hear that you got these R&B influences talking about getting distracted by all these girls. Like Charlie, keep it in your pants, dog. But it's a good song though.
Okay. What's your number two?
My number two, I think I'm gonna give it up to Slow It Down. Actually, now this was another song where piggybacking off of my last review, where I was like, dang, Charlie's a little more adult than I thought. Cause this song is pretty vivid. I mean, it's not like raunchy or nothing like that, but it's pretty vivid as far as like the imagery it puts forward with the R&B influences it has for it. I think I already mentioned it had like a little bit more of a poppy sound to it, but it was kind of fine because the other side of the sound was kind of R&B. If you want like a weird hybrid R&B pop song, I think this is it right here. The pace was a little bit slow. It was pretty slowed down, which kind of made sense for the song too. His voice sounded pretty good for one for this entire album, and two for each different kind of song that he was putting forward. This one came across as like siding more toward the R&B stuff because he's talking about what she's doing on top and how she feels and all this, and I'm like, okay, I get it. It sounds good. And it's a little out there. It's not like nasty, nothing like that. We ain't talking about like Chris Brown's album review or nothing like that. But he goes there once in a while, which is cool. Now I know what kind of artist he was, because this is kind of a learning experience for me. So it's all good.
Okay. Um, yeah, Slow It Down, I thought was like I love the intro to the song. I thought the intro was so quick, especially when you had a song like Boy, which is more laid back, and then Slow It Down came in, and he was like, duh, and he just came in. I thought that was really good. I like the chorus. I love the beat. I thought it was a really fun song. And I get what you're saying about the low key explicitness of the song. But it didn't really. I think it can go over many children's heads, to be honest. Not that bad. Yeah, good choice, good choice. So, guess my number one?
Attention.
Yes, it is actually.
Yeah,
To
it's an easy give for this one.
Yeah, it is because I really love that song. To me, it's a great build up to the chorus. It has a solid beat, solid vocals, fun song, very danceable. I love the disco feel to it. And basically, the song's about this hot girl who likes him, but really only wants one thing from him: his attention. Doesn't want his heart. Don't care about anything else. As long as she's getting what she needs from him, in and outside the bedroom, that doesn't involve love, she's good. And he keeps falling for it, and he knows he keeps falling, and he keeps going back to her. And I like the story behind that, and I like the way he told it. So yeah, attention. What do you think of attention?
So yeah, this is the only other song on the album that I've heard before actually going through the album itself. Pretty dope song. I agree with Shanique as far as the subject matter goes. Like, yeah, it's pretty much you running around in circles with this girl. But when you're thinking with only one of your two heads, then you kind of figure, yeah, you end up with a song like this. You gotta get your head in the game, man. And as far as the bass guitars I was talking about earlier, this song probably has the funkiest of the funky bass guitars. It was like a punchy kind of bass that like came in all the way through the song, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool for like a background sound. It's like normally they're pretty subtle, but it was pretty pronounced in this one, and I was kind of okay with it because that's where a lot of my catchiness for the song came from anyway. At least that's what I found the most catchy in the song, should I say? Like if you're going into this without hearing it before, you're probably gonna have that stand out for you too before you actually catch on to the lyrics, because the lyrics are cool too. Is a pretty interesting story going on here. Just more proof that Charlie has a way with girls. It's something I don't know what's going on, but Charlie's like, yo, hold up, I'm trying to talk to you. I don't know how much y'all play Charlie is. Let me stop playing with him. But yeah, song sounded good. Favorite song on the album, easy. And I know probably like the favorite. It's like one of the most known songs by him right now. Like his most marketable one, should I say? Probably like the one that's most relatable to his name. If you hear Charlie Puth's name, he's like, oh, he's the guy that made Attention. Yeah. So
I would think
that's
you would also think of he also sang that song with Wiz Khalifa. That's what made him famous.
maybe
Um
I was all right.
what is it? What is it? It's for the Paul Walker, that death song at the end of Fast and Furious.
Ah,
That's him.
oh, did not know that. Well, okay, second song. I did not know that. Okay.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. Little vocals.
I was actually flexing the voice cords over here.
Is that your number one? Cause you said favorite song.
Yeah,
Okay. You never said it, so I was like, his favorite song.
I was pretty much just piggybacking off of you just a while ago. Yeah, it was my number one.
All right, so let's get into this album right quick. The first song up is "The Way I Am."
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good opener. The song is basically saying, "Yo, this is me. You don't like me? Too bad. This is who I am." And I love any song that has that message. I love the chorus. I thought the vocals were solid, and he did a little breakdown at the end that really showed off his voice, and I love that part. What do you think of "The Way I Am"?
I'm agree with you. Like this last part that came into the song was probably one of the biggest standouts for it. And I was like, yeah, man, this is pretty dope. Like it's a pretty different sound from the rest of the album, oddly enough, which is kind of strange. Like the intro to the album was like one of the standouts that did not sound like the rest of the album to me. But it was still pretty good. It's still one of those good things in its own category that made me like, all right, if you don't know much about Charlie Puth, you can still get an idea for his sound by listening to this song right here, which I definitely did. I found out his voice is good. Never changed my mind about that throughout the rest of the album, so I knew what I was getting myself into. So yeah, the way I am was a pretty dope song. No arguments with this one.
Okay. How long? How long was funky? It had the probably, in my opinion, probably the most funkiest beat on the entire album. I was a little iffy on the chorus. I don't know. Parts of the chorus sound a little weird to me, but I still thought it was solid. And after a while, the song grew on you. I like the way he sang the verses though, and he was basically the song about he was cheating. He's
Yeah,
basically saying, "Yo, I was cheating, but how long you gonna be mad at me?" And I'm like,
right.
"Yo, like, don't take him back."
See,
That's all I gotta say.
I ain't tripping about my song reviews. Yeah, I was like, I started to see a pattern. Yo, this dude's here cheating like three different songs, and then there's a song here where he's asking her to be patient with me. Like, yeah, we won't get to it though.
Yeah, we gonna get to it. But he was wilding in this song because she should leave him and she should stay gone. Like, nah, don't go back to him. Especially when he said, "How long you gonna be mad?" I'm gonna be mad because you said that. But
Right.
anyway, what do you think of how long?
Yeah, Charlie's female logic right here is a little out there. Like, all right, what's the timer on this? What's the timeline for how long is this gonna be going on? Cause I need you to get happy again so I can go back to cheating. That's kind of what he sounded like. But the actual song, and I hate myself for this, sounds good. I do agree with Shanique though. Also sounds pretty funky with this one here. Bass guitar was doing his job. One instrument he can definitely synergize with a lot. Oddly enough, is a bass guitar. Which, you know what, no arguments there. It's not. It's kind of one of those dying things in music right now because everything's going so electronic that when I hear a bass guitar, I was like, oh, people remember it works, and they found out that they, have good synergy with it. And I was like, okay, great. But yeah, the chorus was actually pretty dope for me too. Actually, one of the other catchier ones for me, and I keep circling back around to Charlie's character here, but I'm gonna leave that alone and focus on the song. The song sounds good. If anyone heard the song outside of like the top hits, they'll realize, dang, Charlie out here, making good music for real. So yeah, that's what's up.
All right. Next song is "Patient." Now this is where, which was kind of, okay. This song was in an awkward part of the album for me because the song before is saying he's asking the girl, "What you done for me?" Then he's like, "Patient with me. I'm fucked up," and I'm like, "Excuse me, excuse me." And then before that, he was like, "Yo, I was cheating, but how long you gonna be mad?" So he went from asking how long you gonna be mad, and he said, "I did all this, but what you did for me," and then like, "Oh, be patient," and I'm like, "You just going through a lot. You just got going through a lot." But funny enough, it does flow into the next song with Boyz II Men, but we'll get into that. Um, it's slow. I just thought it was a weird transition. It sounds different though. I think this is the first slow song on the album, so it was very interesting. But I just thought it was a weird placement. What do you think of Patient?
Patient was cool. I do agree with Shanique. As far as the subjects go, I'm not going to harp on this one too long. As far as subject goes, it's a little weird, but that's fine. Um, the slower pace here, I was kind of curious about what he would do as far as the slower pace does go, because now that I know he did the song about with Wiz Khalifa, I was thinking to myself, all right, let's now it's kind of putting things in perspective about his slow singing. And while I was going to the album without even knowing that, I was like, all right, everything right here has been like catchy and funky and more towards the upbeat side, and this one was the first one that slowed it down. I thought it was cool. Like if you listen to this song without the context of the rest of the album, it's actually a pretty sweet song. It's like hey, be patient. I didn't think of it in the context of cheating. I thought about it in the context of like you know, maybe he's working so hard that he don't got time for her or something like that, which is kind of an okay issue to have here and there. But like this one actually sounded sweet. I'm not gonna get and argue about actual like uh deal breaking issues in relationships. I was just comparing it to all the cheating that was going on in the rest of the album. But I thought outside of that though, outside of like a standalone song without actually knowing about all the infidelity and whatnot's going on in the rest of the album, it sounded really good. It sounded real sweet. Um, Definitely on the R&B side of things. I've definitely got convinced about with all the songs up to this point as well was that he can definitely pull off that genre pretty well on his own. Because even the music behind what he's doing, just like I think he just found like this weird balance that he knows his sound and like he's pretty much like perfecting that kind of craft and he's just going there and he's just going with it. So yeah, Patient was a pretty good one for one of the slower paced songs. Compared to all the other upbeat, funky, semi-pop hybrid songs on the album.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Next one, "If You Leave Me Now," featuring Boyz II Men. Now this song, to me, wasn't really a song. It just showcased the harmonies, and I guess that's
I
like, yeah, that's, you go ahead. Did I cut you off?
No, I said I agree.
Oh, okay. Um, It wasn't really a song. The song to me was still decent because of the harmonies, and I thought this was such a surprising collab. Like, if you would have asked me like a year ago, you know who Boyz II Men should sing with? Charlie Puth. I would have been like, who? Like what? Absolutely not. But they actually worked together, and I thought it was a surprising collab. The song isn't really all that impressive as a song, but for the harmonies alone, it deserves a really good grade. So yeah, If You Leave Me Now, solid. What do you think of If You Leave Me Now?
I have almost the exact same opinion about this one because Boyz II Men they didn't really have much of a solo part to play in the song, solo for a group here, anyways. But like they were excellent as far as being like I can't believe I'm saying this. Well, background singers, because like they were pretty much doing what she needs to. They're pretty much just harmonizing behind Charlie Puth's actual music himself. Which Charlie Puth, he sounded pretty good. Largely doing, I think the song in itself sounds good. Largely doing part of the actual collab itself. Cause like, these are just two names I just never thought I'd be hearing together. Heck, Boyz II Men was just a name in general I never thought I'd heard together. And when I actually read the Spotify listing for the artist names, which I do sometimes randomly ahead of the song, so I getting surprised. This one I decided to room for myself because I'm like, Boyz II Men, for real? Like, I didn't know how this was gonna work, but like, it actually did. Boyz II Men actually sounded like Boyz II Men. They sound very recognizable. You couldn't miss it. And I think yeah, I feel like if they both had their own fleshed out parts, they probably would have liked the song a little bit more. But I was okay with the actual end result because this is just some kind of combination I never really thought I'd see. Like BB King and John Mayer way back in the day. I think I said the same thing about him. I know we haven't done him on the podcast, but like I know him. He did like some kind of song with BB King way back, and I was like, wow, that's a weird combination of things in the world. Two flavors you never know actually work together. But yeah, one of the interesting standouts on the album just for the two names alone.
Definitely agree. Next one, Boy. It's a chill song. What makes this song unique is this is probably the most 80s type of beat you could probably
Yeah,
find.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not really in love with this song, but I understand. I like the lyrics. The lyrics are very interesting. He's like, "Why you treat me like a boy," and or "boy" in all caps. Um,
Boy,
damn man, Ray Meyer.
all caps, yo, all caps on 25 font, man.
True, 47. Um, but overall, I thought it was a decent song. I think the beat is what makes it stand out to me, but solid, solid showing for Charlie. What do you think of Boy?
Boy was a pretty good song because I think I actually did kind of fall for it because of the sound. I think probably fell more for the sound than I did for the actual song itself. Mostly because I was kind of interested to see that like between the sounds of Boyz II Men, the very first song, the hip hop pop hybrids for the rest of the album. I thought this was an interesting little placement for it. I was like, oh wow, this is like a 80s semi electric guitar going on in the background kind of sound. I was like, it's kind of interesting. And I kind of dig it. I was like, okay, clearly you can work whatever sound you feel like putting on your album, sir. I have no qualms with your music choices here because you're making everything look good. And it's one of those things that should show when someone has a certain kind of range, they can pull this off confidently. And I feel like he's pulling this off on the 13 song album with no compromise. Like I'm forgetting whose album it was where I said like you tried something new and didn't really work, but going forward it might actually work out later on. But I know I said in one of my previous podcasts, one of our previous podcasts, and I was like, this one is the example of how you do it right by I don't know maybe quality checking yourself before actually putting it on the album. Because this one sounded like it was meant to happen. You can actually, I actually believe, I know I'm probably bigger on the song than Shanika is, that you can actually have an album with like this kind of theme going through, like the same way this one has like a funky theme going through it. This kind of 80s rock kind of theme going through it actually probably would work for Charlie at some point in the future.
Okay. Next up, Change featuring James Taylor. Now I don't know who James Taylor is, but I did like his voice.
Mhm.
This is Charlie getting into his inspirational mode, and the world would be better if we all realize we're all the same, kumbaya, all that good shit. Um,
Baya.
by y'all. It was a decent song. It's not the most interesting song, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to it's a little preachy. But I thought it had a good sound. I thought him and James collaborated really well, and overall, I thought the song sounded good. What do you think of Change featuring James Taylor?
Not before I get into change. I just want to let the world know that this song came immediately after what's the name of the dang song again? It was one of
Slow
my
it
top
down.
ones. Slow it down. I was gonna say slow dance. I was thinking of another album. Don't worry about it. But yeah. If you listen to slow dance and listen to how explicit that song was, I mean, not explicit, but air quotes explicit. If I'm only saying that because it's kind of explicit by comparison to everything else. But then it goes into like this weird, like super positive Disney esque kind of song, and I'm like, really? That was a weird switch up because I went from like super R&B sexy time mode to all this love and positivity stuff, and I'm like, damn, my brain couldn't really comprehend how to feel about that. But that's a transition thing. That's not the actual song thing. The song itself actually sounded good. James, like Shanique, I don't know who you are, but he sounded great with Charlie. Which I'm starting to realize is kind of a pattern here. Everyone I've heard with Charlie so far, in and out of this album, worked really well with him. So I guess he has that kind of adaptability with everyone who works with him. But yeah, like I said, the song very positive sounded, very Disney esque, very uplifting. Probably that brings the pace back up a little bit from the past couple songs. And yeah, it's a little bit random for the album, but I've actually ended up appreciating it after the song ended.
Yeah. Next one. Someone told me. Now she cheating.
Just
Basically,
can't get away, man. I don't know what to tell them.
it's another 80s type of beat, and basically the song's about, yeah, like, yo, someone told me you were cheating. And that's basically it.
Someone saw you out with them, like you really, yo, I'll take you taking them out in public. Anyways,
Yeah, but I thought it
anyways.
was a very fun song. I liked the 80s beat on it. I liked the sound. Didn't really feel bad because he was creeping through the other songs, and but I thought it was really cool to listen to. What do you think of somebody told me?
Now, clearly, when he decides to go into R&B mode, he goes into like this weird like trifling mode, where either he's being trifled against or he's doing a trifling. I don't know, but the Sacco song itself sounded pretty good. It's one of those R&B songs that tell a good story, which I know R. Kelly's having his own things going on right now. But I think the king of telling stories goes to Trapped in the Closet. So this one,
What? Why you pick "Trapped in the Closet"? That is not his most famous song.
not famous, best storytelling to me, yo. What the you listen to what I just said? Best storytelling. Anyway, if Trapped in the Closet is not a good storytelling song, it had literally no chorus. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. I guess it kind of had a chorus, but it was more.
Open the
It was like
closet,
it was
closet.
like. Okay, I'm gonna let Shanique finish her thing here, but anyways, it was like one of those things where it's like almost episodic, and it was like telling something that was going on. And like I feel like in a weird way, I know he's not really going for this, but in a weird way, he could probably like organize this entire album into like a weird story. But obviously not to the level of what R. Kelly pulled off. But this one I thought was a pretty interesting story because he's like, yo, I saw you out, doing this, that, and the other. Some a little bird, was telling me these little secrets here, heard through the grapevine, yada yada yada. But yeah, it was a little. I think he pulled off the sound pretty well because he's pretty consistent with that. No problem there. And I'm actually a fan of this song too, for real. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I like the song.
Okay. Empty Cups. It was decent. I thought it was a fun song, and I loved the vocals on it. But again, it wasn't like my favorite of the album. But it wasn't a bad song at all. I just thought it was okay. What do you think of Empty Cups?
I'm actually gonna give the song a bit more credit, only because like if I did have a number four spot or it's an honorable mention spot, which we decide to be really inconsistent about on this podcast, I'd probably put it in that spot. This song, for some reason, was oddly not necessarily a standout, but its catchiness was for some reason so addicting to me. Like sometimes I just find these weird songs like which I don't think I would like, but for some reason my brain just resonates with it. Like the same way people have different senses and like they're attuned to different things. I was really attuned to this song right here. Like it's pretty much just saying it's just me, you, and these empty cups at this party, whatever, and then like insert random love story here and there. At least there's no trifling in it. I'll give them that much. And it sounded pretty good. Like it was a little more upbeat. There's no trifling involved. Catchiness, of course, is probably my favorite part of the song. And yeah, it fought hard for that number three spot, man.
All right. Next one, Through It All, which is also the final song on the album, and it's to me it's a weird song for him to sing. Cause he's saying, "Yo, I've been through it all. I won't cry if God comes and all this stuff." I'm like, nigga, you like 23. Like, what is it all? Like, what have you been through? But again, maybe he has been through it all. It just seemed weird type of song for him to sing because it's him. But I overall lyric wise and how he sang it, good song. I just thought this was just a weird song for a guy that young to sing. But hey, it could just be me. What do you think of Through It All?
I kind of wish it wasn't the last song. I can feel this. I I'm placing it in a weird place where I felt about changes. Where it's like these two songs were like focusing on something so separate from the album that everything else was the album talking about. Like 11 songs talking about similar subject matter, and these two songs were like kind of positive and hopeful and optimistic. And I was like, all right, I wouldn't end it on one of the songs that was like one of the outliers of your album. I would give it to something else, in my opinion. But the song actually sounded good. I just thought like there was no synergy with the rest of the album for it. For some reason I felt better about Changes doing that than I did with this song because it came off like really ballady almost, and it really I don't know it took me out for it because I was having fun with Empty Cups as well too, and like because it came so close to the end of the album, it brought me down because Empty Cups brought me up because I was having fun, it was upbeat and pace was great, and then this one just brought me down. But yeah, my biggest problem is with the location of the song, not really the song itself. Song on standalone sounds fine. Charlie still sounds good. Surprise, surprise. It's fine. But yeah, overall, great album.
To be honest, I would have ended with Changes if I had to pick like a song and then he wanted one of his slow ones. I would have put Changes instead of Through It All. But because of the topics of Through It All, the theme of Through It All, it makes sense as a closer. But I maybe it just doesn't belong on this album. That's
He's been
probably
through a
the.
lot of cheating, is what he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing. I don't know his life. Just in case Charlie ends up listening to this little podcast here. I don't know your life like that. But you sound good, though. Empty Cups was pretty awesome.
Okay, so closing remarks. I say, you know what? I'm gonna give this album a buy. I think I think he is a talented individual, and I think you should support the artist and buy his music. That is my closing remarks. What's yours?
I feel like it is one of those weird hidden gems that R&B might not be, having its eyes on right now. But I feel like in the future, he might have a lot of potential. I feel like, as far as adaptability, people can work with him really easy. I haven't heard anyone's voice or performance with him not sound good. After I heard that Boys to Men collab, I was like, all right, bet, just put anybody with him, yo. He can do whatever he wants. Because he has from Boys to Men to whoever James Taylor is, to Kehlani, to Wiz Khalifa, as far as I know. As far as I know, they're the only ones I'm aware of anyway.
There's
Like,
Megan Trainor.
what song was that?
Marvin Gaye. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on.
Oh wow, see, I really don't know much about Charlie Puth here, but like, yeah, see, clearly he can do a lot of things there. Like that's the pop area he can definitely work with. So yeah, I'd suggest paying some attention to this album, going through it, because to me, going through the entire thing was just fine, other than like the two weird outliers being changed and through it all, where it kind of took me out of the R&B funky mode that I had a good time being in, because that theme for the album right there was pretty good. But outside of that, that's a really nitpicky complaint. Still worthy of an A minus for me.
Yeah, his style is like it's pop, but he definitely fused it with a lot of R&B and a lot of like other genres,
Right, which
and
I'm not
it
playing with.
yeah, and it works with his voice.
Hmm.
He's one of the better. Well, we as for pop artists, I'd say he's this is probably the best pop album we listened to this year. So definitely,
I,
so far.
I would actually co-sign on that.
Who knows by the end of the year? But yeah, definitely check him out. So guys, we're gonna close out this podcast. Hit us up at Echo U Podcast on Twitter. Let us know what you guys think of it. We saw that we're getting some more hits on our Twitter and on our main site through the Twitter, so that's really good. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, YouTube at Echo Underground Podcast. And you can also find us on any other podcasting apps if you want to listen to us on your phone. Also under Echo Underground Podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.